The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this hosting platform or any associated entities.
We're putting the band back together.
Forget it. No way. We're on a mission from God.
Welcome to After Dark with Jamie and Clint, a podcast where our hosts examine questions about the Christian faith. Questions that are not easy to ask and even harder to answer. No topic is off limits. Contents of this podcast may cause you to rethink long-held beliefs. Listener discretion is advised. And now, here's Jamie and Clint.
Pretty good?
Yeah. Last Joe.
Last Joe in the house.
Yes. This is round 3.
Quick hits.
Round 3 quick hits.
And in case they don't know who Glass Joe is, we've explained it before, but maybe we'll do that again. NES.
Yeah.
The very first Nintendo Entertainment System. And what was the game?
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
And Glass Joe was the goofy.
He was the first one. Yeah. Well, you saw him.
Yeah.
I was Glass Joe.
That's right. Glass Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe Ward, for making that happen.
Yes. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
I was trying to think of who the second. They're always talking and kind of messing with me. The second,
You're very welcome.
The second the opponent. Yeah, it was.
I can't. Dang, you going too far.
Yeah,
The big guy.
yeah. He was the number 2 guy. He was like, I don't know, like Bruno or something.
He had the cool hair, like
Yes.
like a Rocky type.
Right.
Yeah. I remember his name, but he would dance and
Yeah.
kiss his old thumbs and all that.
Yeah. Oh man, I never could get by him.
He's tough.
Yeah.
To this day, I told you that I've got the pack, right?
Yeah.
Get it on a Switch.
Yeah.
And it's on there on the classic games. And to this day, how many years has it been? 40 years?
Oh, easily.
And I'm Googling how to beat blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
I'm like, how 40 years there, if you ain't figured it out, it's Nintendo, give it up, dude. But anyway.
I'm sure there's cheats you could do.
They're all right.
Yeah.
So I beat them.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's a Sandman. I remember there's a Sandman on there.
I'm saying, man. Well.
Guy called the Sandman. I think he sprinkles sand on you after he knocks you out. I don't know.
Oh well.
It's called Sandman, yeah.
Yeah.
Put you to sleep.
Put you to sleep. Hey, I got a joke for you.
Let me hear it.
This there's a guy by the name of Dave, and Dave was talking to a friend of his, and he says he knows all of the famous people. He knows every famous person you can think of.
Okay.
And his friend says, "Well, yeah." He said, "No, seriously." He said, "Name somebody." And he said, "Okay, Tom Cruise." He said, "Yeah. Me and Tommy are real good friends." And so they got on a plane. They flew to L.A., went to Tom Cruise's house, knocked on the door. Tom Cruise answers the door. "Hey, Dave, how you been? Blah, blah, blah. Come on in." And they come in and, had a few hours hanging out with Tom Cruise, and they left, flew back home. And a couple of days goes by, and his friend's like, "Okay, well, I'll give you that one.
Okay.
But you say, he said, "Literally, I know all the famous people." And he said, name another one. Just talk the top of your head." He said, "Okay. I tell you what, I know one." He said, "President Bush, the first one." And he goes, "Yeah. He said, we were real tight. Matter of fact, that Bush, George W. Bush, I helped his campaign back in 2000, and I only did so because Bush 41, he and I are good friends, and he asked me to help him." And so they got on a plane. They flew to Houston, Texas, and went up to the former president's house, and Secret Service is there, and Secret Service guys go, "Hey, Dave, how you been? It's been a while." I said, we'll let the president know you're here. And, they drove on up, and there comes out the first Bush, and, he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Come on in, have some tea." And, they chilled out for a while and jumped on a plane, went back, And so a couple more days go by, and the guy's like, all right, this is blowing my mind, but no way you know everybody that's famous. And he said, "All right, one more shot. He said, "Okay." The Pope.
Oh, wow.
He said, "Oh, yeah. Said, "Yeah, me and the Pope go way back." He said, "We were friends when he was just a cardinal."
He was just a cardinal.
He said, so there you go. They jump on a plane, they fly to Rome, and they're out at St. Peter's Square. And just crowds of people, and wait for the Pope to come out on the balcony, and Dave looks at his buddy and says, "Man, this, he's not gonna see me amongst this crowd to say hey." He said, "Listen, stay right here." He said, I'm gonna go up. I know the guards." He said, "I'll go up, tell them, I'm here, and, and they'll let me in." And, he said, "I'll come out on the balcony with the Pope."
Oh, okay.
And so sure enough, a few minutes goes by, and here comes Dave out on the balcony with the Pope, and they get their arms around each other, and they're waving, and so he leaves, and he comes back where his friend is, and he knows there's an ambulance there, and there's paramedics, and they got their friend or his friend on a gurney, and they're loading him up. And so what happened? Said he had a heart attack, and it's a big. Don't worry, he'll be fine. We just need to get him stabilized and get him to the hospital for observation or whatever. And Dave was like, "Oh man, what happened?" And he talked to his friend. He got on the ambulance with him, and they're riding to the hospital, and he's looking at his friend in the gurney and goes, "What happened?" And he said, "You came out on the balcony with the Pope." He said, "That was such a shock." He said, "Is that what gave me a heart attack?" He said, "No." He said, "What gave me the heart attack was the guy standing next to me looked up and said, 'Who's that guy with Dave?'" Who's the guy with Dave? So, there you go. Long-winded joke.
Sorry, hey, but you know what? It was a good one.
And paid off at the end.
Except for the friend.
Except
You
for
suck
the friend.
so bad.
Yeah. All right. So we're quick. Oh, sorry.
Quick hits, man. Where's the quick hits bucket?
Can't do it without the bucket.
And maybe Delaware can help us as the seasons change. We can do seasonal buckets.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I mean, yeah, this is almost ready for Halloween. We just put some little,
Put
some little eyeballs, and it'll be jack-o'-lantern.
Put a picture of Delaware right now.
Oh, yeah.
A Delaware jack-o'-lantern.
Delaware jack-o'-lantern. I love it.
Put your finger down.
There you go again.
Who's
Y'all gotta quit joking about me flipping you off.
You're waving, yeah.
My mama thinks you're serious.
My bad. Yeah. So, I don't have. Do you have timer?
Yep.
All right. So those of you that do not know what is going on, this is quick hit. So this is the third time we're doing it. So that's round 3. So in this bucket is questions from listeners that have submitted questions to us. It's some of our listeners, some of our subscribers, they ask us questions intentionally trying to trip us up, I think, but there are some like legitimate, that they really want to know.
Yeah.
So what we do, we don't know what's in here. And so we just reach in, we pull it out, we take turns, we pull one out, we read the question, and we answer it right there on the spot. No preparation, nothing. And we have 5 minutes to answer the question. And when we get stuck, we look at our partner, help me out. Oh yeah. And so, but that's one. It's called quick hits. We just fire them off, and
and he gets a little hairy sometimes. You said it's hard to trip us up. We do get tripped up.
Yeah.
And it makes us iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, these things do help us to go back and say, all right, man, I bombed that one.
Oh.
I really don't know, or it made me think a little bit deeper. So we always like to encourage people, don't be afraid and shy away, because that's what Christians do. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
We're taught in our churches a lot of times to shy away from difficult things. And it's like, no, man,
Yes.
you won't get sharper unless you jump in the deep end,
Yeah.
man. And you just got to,
And you don't get sharper just taking the pastor's word for it.
no. Absolutely. That's one of the worst things you can do.
Right.
I always tell people when I teach or preach or any of that stuff or talk to you or your friends, I'm like, check behind me.
Yeah.
I am not the son of God.
All right. Yeah.
Check behind me, man. And let me know if I mess up, because we're in error. So that's the whole premise of this show, really. And quick hits is, woo.
Yeah, quick hits is where we put the money where our mouth is.
Sometimes I feel like our whole premise is to hit people between the eyes. This is their chance to hit us between the eyes.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's a good way to say it.
So, yeah, sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's so scary.
You want to do rock paper scissors? See who goes first?
Let's do it.
Ready? Right? Yeah. Rock paper scissors shoot. Rock paper scissors shoot. You got me. All right. So mine go. All right. So we're gonna reach in the bucket here. And
Shuffle them up good, baby.
shuffle them up. Let's see. I'm gonna take that one. All right. See what?
And I won't hit the timer until after he reads the question.
Okay. All right. This is a softball one. That's a short one too. It's a little bitty one. I don't know if you'd say that or not, but anyway, here's the question. Why does God allow evil? Start. Okay, here we go. Why does God allow evil? Okay, well, the short answer is he does not allow evil. He allows free choice. He allows freedom for us. All right, now there is a reason why, and it's the same reason why. I'm gonna go back to the Garden of Eden, and why did God put that tree in the middle of the garden and then tell Adam he can't eat from it? Well, the reason why is you cannot make somebody love you to enter in a relationship, and if Adam had no choice, then of course he's going to obey God, and he's going to honor God. He has no choice. Yeah. So you put the tree there, just one tree. You put the tree there and say, okay, don't eat of that tree. Now he has a choice, and so if he obeys God, he does so out of his choice. He chooses to obey God. He chooses to love. And so in the same vein for us, if God did not allow evil, then we're not free to choose him. And you're entering into a bondage situation where you have no choice.
Yeah, it's what you mean. Yeah.
So-
Because he doesn't allow evil per se. He allows us to make choices
Yes.
that are good or evil.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
on us. We allow evil. Humanity allows evil.
Now, some people would say to that, okay, but if bad, evil, wicked things are taking place and all God would have to do is remove our freedom of choice, then we could eliminate evil. What would you say to that?
Then you're nothing more than a robot at that point.
And then we would accuse him of being a dictator.
Yeah.
So, either way we go.
Yeah, it's a no-win situation for God if you're questioning that. So, it's when good things happen, we don't give God the credit. When bad things happen, we say, God, when you allow this happen, I've used analogy before, somebody, builds a house at the bottom of a volcano, and then the volcano erupts and destroys the house. And they say, God, why did you destroy my house? You built your house at the bottom of the volcano was there first, it's sort of the same thing, it's, when, choices that we make, and then we say, we blame God when those choices are bad choices or the results comes out to be bad, and,
That's
so
a good answer.
very clear answer. Yeah. So God doesn't allow evil. We do. But God gives us the choice to make, choices to make.
And even then, if sin is all the same in the eyes of God, right?
Yeah.
So okay, well, why does he allow this mass murderer, dictator person to continue to do what they do? Or on the same token, it would be, well, why does he allow us to sin? So it's almost like, okay, does that make God bad because he allows us to live and survive and continue, or does it make him merciful?
Yeah.
Like he should wipe us out. He chooses not to because he does love us.
Mm-hmm.
So we see that in all that. Dude, you did that one with 1 minute and 2 seconds left.
Boom.
I'll tell you what, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good right there. That was trying. Now we should have did this in the beginning in the opener. Do you consider yourself Gen X? You follow there?
Yeah, I'm Gen X.
Gen X. So we took a hit this past week. Ozzy Osbourne passed. Hulk Hogan and Malcolm Jamal Warner. On the Cosby Show. And there was a guy that was a blues jazz guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Sir, I think, oh gosh.
And then there was
his face.
He had the beard, wore the hat. Yes. Gen Z, excuse me, we're not Gen Z. Gen X.
Yeah.
Okay, hit, man.
Chris Christopherson this passed away.
When did he pass?
I think it's past either this past week or the week before.
Really?
Right, really, yeah.
Well, guys, I'm ready to tell you. I don't even know what to say to that one. When I read that about Hulk Hogan, I was like, no way, man.
Yeah.
He's immortal. The immortal Hulk Hogan. None of us are.
Oh yeah, I knew that we were in trouble when recently with the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and his woo was like, woo.
But here's the thing: of all the people that are passing,
Yeah,
Ric Flair's still alive.
yeah. So yeah.
He was like 89 and he's drunk every day. I don't even know who's in the bars partying.
Yeah, I love the stuff he put in his body. I mean, all the steroids. Ooh, jeez.
But I will say this, man. Ozzy could not have planned that any better with his, concert, the last whatever, and then within a few days.
Well, that he and Sharon about 30 years ago had decided that when the time came, they were going to go out on their own, and so it was assisted suicide.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did that come out?
It hasn't come out, but Sharon talked about it, and they talked about it that Ozzy did, but they made that decision like 30 years ago that when they got to a point where quality of life, this, that, and the other, they were going to decide when. And
oh wow!
So yeah, that's why that big concert
was another one of Clint's conspiracy theories. And if it turns out to be true,
it's true. It's true,
and that would make for a good episode.
Yeah,
suicide, assisted suicide, and right.
Yeah, there you go.
That's getting too deep right there. Let's go back and look at baby.
All right, give you a good one.
Ah, dang.
Oh, is that all? Look at all that. Look at all that. Oh, yes. There you go.
If the Bible was written in Hebrew and Greek, how does it prohibit Christians from saying certain English words, i.e. cuss words? Star.
All right.
I'll be honest, Clint and I both are a little fried today, man, and I don't mean from partying. We're just old and tired, and he's got some milk and stuff. I'm just exhausted. This is a tough one. So, but I think we've covered this before. So the Bible in Hebrew and Greek, how does it prohibit Christians from saying certain English words like cuss words? So I think we talked about cursing and stuff in the past, that it's a Puritan thing.
Well, it was an unaired episode.
Oh, unaired. Okay.
Yeah. So they had
that. Heard that.
Yeah.
So the Puritans, when they came over from England, decided on a lot of different words at the time that were considered profanities, vulgar words, whatever. And they came up with a list of things you couldn't say. We always hit the big ones like the F word and stuff. There was other things on there.
Yeah.
I promise you today, they would say, dang it, crap, stuff like that. son of a gun. I don't know.
Yeah.
They would pick just about anything and say, it's wrong. Because when you say, holy crap, what are we really saying?
Right.
And so as far as the Bible, Hebrew and Greek prohibiting certain things, I think we both fall on the page of this, is that cursing as we know it, curse words, it's more of a cultural thing, and it changes with times. I say crap in front of my grandma. I didn't say this on the air. I said it in front of my grandmother when I was about 11. Oh, I got beat. Now, it's just whatever, right?
Yeah.
You can say the word piss, and back then was a big deal. Now it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
If you even look at television, and I'm not saying we're in favor of this, by the way, just saying it's how it is.
Oh, yeah.
There's words on network television that were never on back in the 2000s. So I think a lot of that is cultural, but at the end of it all, when it comes down to the Hebrew and the Greek and all of that, it's mainly talking about, and you mentioned, I'm going to throw it into you, because about cursing, as far as cursing someone or bringing down a curse on someone, or I think it boils down to, man, I hope you die kind of a thing.
Yeah. Not just I hope you die, but where you go.
Yeah. I hope you go to hell, right?
Right.
Whatever. Yeah. And so it talks about, there's a verse that talks about fresh water, sweet water, and bitter water can't come out of the same spring.
Right.
That's presented a lot in messages as this is why you shouldn't say bad words. However,
That's they're missing the point.
Yeah, missing it big time over the head.
Yeah.
I think it's talking about how can you talk about grace and love and mercy and forgiveness and then turn around and be bitter and harsh and unforgiving.
Boom.
That's the bitter water.
Yes.
And so that you can take a person like that, and we know them, maybe one of them, who don't curse. I ain't saying a bad word. I'm not going to say dang, but I will cut somebody down. And destroy their character, gossip, slander.
Yeah.
And I believe that's what it's talking about.
Just to dovetail off that, Scripture does talk about abstain from profane sayings.
Yes.
And that's actually where we get the word profanity from. But profane is anything that's worthless, of no good, is considered profane, or ill-mannered, or of ill repute, I guess. Yeah. So so the Bible talks about abstaining from profane sayings is exactly like what you just talked about. When you attack someone's character, you may not say one of the to reference George Carlin, you may not say one of the 7 words, but
The 7.
You attack someone's character.
Yeah.
You have engaged in profane saying, so you have spoke profanity.
Yeah.
It's
Without realizing it.
yeah. So
Yeah. Man, it's one of those things we talk about cultural a lot. And I was sitting there thinking as you were talking to in the South, because we mentioned this before, my mind's churning. In the South, somebody comes in, especially an older gentleman, to shake your hand, you stand up, shake his hand. If you don't, it's rude. A lot of people don't adhere to that, but the older generation still does.
Yeah.
A lady, walks in, you stand up, give her your seat. There's all these things. So I'm not saying you got a license to go ahead and just cuss like a sailor.
no.
And he's a sailor, so
Yeah.
he can cuss with the best of them. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying is it a sin? I don't really think it falls in the realm of sin so much as it falls in the realm of, like you said, ill manners.
Yeah.
And impoliteness, and what culture are you? And one of the best things we talked about before was in the Arab countries, and we've both been there. There's a certain hand you're going to shake with, and a certain one you're not. And if you shake with the wrong one, you just cause the war.
Yeah.
That it's not that it's wrong in and of itself, but in that place.
Right. Exactly.
So I think we just need to be aware of that. And there it went.
Yep.
I would never say certain words in front of children, older people, ladies.
Right. Yeah.
So when I hear somebody who's doing off-color things like that, it's not like you're a sinner. It's more like, well, you're a rude turd.
Yeah. He's like,
Have some manners.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what it comes down to. Yeah. And, you expect someone of the world to act like that and speak like that. But you don't expect to a follower of Christ to act like that and speak like that, because you're not of that world anymore.
We're supposed to exercise discipline and tame the tongue.
Yeah.
So it's really a matter of restraint and discipline.
There you go. Yeah. That's, and I had something else to say, but we ran out of time and I don't remember. I'm forgetful. So, whatever.
That
We're trying, man. Oh, we're trying. I don't know. We're doing it. We're doing it. We just,
I'm ready for the heat to be over. I feel like the heat is killing, man.
Saturday is supposed to be like 75.
This Saturday?
Yes.
Did you how you got up early this morning, right?
I'll get up early.
It was cool outside.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it didn't last long.
No.
So if it's going to be 75 Saturday.
Yes.
Oh,
As a high. As a high.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Y'all don't understand.
Yeah.
You need to come down here and just hang out for a day outside.
Yeah. That's right.
It zaps you, man. It zaps your energy, your life force. It's just, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're raring to go. You're full of energy. You open the door, you step outside, and it's all gone. It's just like, rough.
I know you got some animals outside. I got 2 bird dogs that are outside. When the nighttime hits, wide open. Daytime, they ain't gonna eat. They ain't playing. They're laying under that porch, digging a little hole in their dirt, where it's cool, up against the foundation, and they ain't moving.
Yeah.
And I have to go every once in a while and poke them, be like, you're alive, That's how hot it is, man.
Yes, I know. Oh, yes.
All right, what we got?
All right, here we go.
Oh, we got a good one.
Yeah, it's kind of a longer one. All right, so here we go. How can the Bible, written thousands of years ago, be relevant in the modern world? Sorry.
Another Bible question.
Yeah, ready? Yeah. How can the Bible, written thousands of years ago, be relevant in the modern world?
Oh no.
Okay. Well, really, this is to me. This is probably an easy one for me. Yeah, and it's going to sound flippant when I say this, but here it goes. It's relevant in the modern world today because people don't change.
Now, we said people don't change.
Humanity doesn't change. The same problems that they had thousands of years ago when this was written are the same problems we have today.
Yeah.
Let's see, just right off the top of my head, you had we talked about this recently. You had David had an affair with he was married, she was married. We have that today, so yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Just right off the top of my head, I'm trying to cherry pick things, but it's
Envy.
You got envy. You've got murder.
Jacob and Esau.
You got so Jacob and Esau. You have brothers fighting over an inheritance.
Really?
Yeah.
So you mean even back then when a parent died, it would cause a rift in the family?
Yeah. Wow. And that happens today. So anyway, so so people are the same. Our humanity doesn't change. Okay. We don't ride horses now. We ride in cars, we have cell phones and, this, that, and the other, the podcast, whatever. But when it gets down to it, people are the same. We always the same. And here is the other part of that equation is the truth is the same.
That's good.
So what was true 2,000 years ago is true now.
That's good.
Don't murder. Don't, things you learn in kindergarten, don't hit, share your stuff,
Simple.
Don't eat glue,
I think they were wrong about that. I'm fine. Well, fine. Look at Delroy. You don't just live paint cars and he's great.
So, Oh, Royale, I got to tell you something off the air. I could tell you something off the air.
If it's got to be off there, we know it's not.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah. So how is the Bible relevant? Because the truth doesn't change and humanity doesn't change. So what applies to people back then, it still applies to us today. You know, the truth is timeless, and so there you go.
You did excellent on that, man. There's an old saying, and we said a lot down here, and I assume they might say it in other places, but it is simply this: same problem, different day. Right? Same problems, different day. And I love how you said it's humanity that doesn't change, and the same things that plague us, and it's the same solution that we need to our problems.
Yeah,
Jesus. So great.
Amen.
Ooh, I don't need to. We're trucking on fumes. I don't need to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got little words.
About half full. Yeah. Oh, those are 2 questions.
Yeah, it's not fair. How can Christianity and science coexist? Hasn't science disproved creation in Genesis?
Yeah, finally you get the Genesis questions.
Finally. Yeah. That sucks.
Definitely go around 1 and 2. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
How can Christianity and science coexist? God, I'm not going to say this nearly as articulately as you, but they do coexist because God created everything. That means science and all of our reasoning and physics and everything fall within the realm of creation. Mm-hmm. He's the architect or the artist behind all of that. I've never seen a problem for Christianity and science to coexist. I don't have an issue at all with anything that's scientific and all of that. The only problem that comes in is when we try to take science to debunk our faith, right? And use it as a weapon or weaponize it against the faith. Because to me, they just go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. Now, I know there's a lot of, what's the guy? Neil deGrasse Tyson, the guy you like.
Yeah.
Funny guy, by the way. Really good to listen to.
Hey, and I'm still waiting on that phone call, dude. I got Neil. Yeah. Come on, we got a mutual friend, Neil, and that mutual friend needs to, get the ball.
Well, you're not too big for After Dark.
No,
yeah. We will make you famous.
There you go.
Or vice versa. So, how can Christianity and science coexist? They just do. Because, again, God created everything to be the way that it is. I don't know all those sciencey stuff, but like photosynthesis and all this stuff. God created it. I just don't have a problem when people say, did you know this scientific fact? Sure. Mm-hmm. And God made it that way. I just don't see him as at odds. And hasn't science disproved creation in Genesis? Normal throws on you. But has science disproved creation in Genesis? I don't think so. Why? Now help me out a little bit with this because you're more up on it, but I do want to try to answer it. How do people say that science disproves creation in Genesis? What's one of the arguments?
Well, the age of the earth.
Okay. Yeah, well, I remember the age of the earth. Mm-hmm. And so some Christians believe in a literal 6,000 years. Mm-hmm. Each day was a day. God created this, day 1, day 2. Some think each day represented, 1,000 years or a billion years. It could be all kinds of stuff. I've heard different things, but 1,000 usually.
Usually 1,000 because of, in the book of James, it's, to God.
Day is 1,000.
1,000 years, 1,000 years a day. Yeah.
Whether it is or whether it's not. Whether it is or whether it's not, I don't even think that's a good argument or a good thing to stand on because I don't think it matters really. But you said something really good about it before, so I have to throw it back on you. The age of the earth. And that's usually the big one, the age of the earth. Mm-hmm. How was it that you put that? Because it was formless, it was without void, but it was there?
Yeah. But it was there. Well, yeah. The earth was there in the beginning. But the way God built age into the earth.
That's right. He said built age into it.
Yes, when it was created. And get that from, the question is, when God created Adam, was he an infant? Or was he a fully grown man? And, he was a fully grown man. And, the day after God created Adam, he was, let's say, he's 30 years old. Right. Let's just use that. So the day after God created Adam is a 30-year-old man, but chronologically, he is 1 day old. So he was created a day, 24 hours ago. He was created 24 hours ago, but he's a 30-year-old man. He was created with age built into it. So the same thing with the earth. The earth, the universe, was created with age built into it. It was the earth was fully mature when it was created. The universe was fully mature when it was created.
Yeah.
And so that's why you can test the earth, and there's, millions of years and whatever, but it only happened 6,000 years ago, is because it was fully mature when it created it.
That's crazy. And I love how you put that. And I wanted to say this before on the one when we talked about this, and I forgot about it, but I want to mention this. Ken Ham, Answers in Genesis, and the Ark experience, which would be cool to experience. We should make a trip one day and get a group of our church folks together and go see that. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
6 hours. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off because I'm about to go over. But Ken did this a few years ago. He took a stalactite. This was many years ago, I guess. We took a stalactite to these different labs, different science places. Have you ever heard this story?
No.
3 different ones, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to throw out random numbers because I can't remember specifically, but he took him in and said, hey, carbon date this thing. How old is this stalactite? And one would say 1.5 million years. And one would say 20 million. One would say 500,000. He said, we created this in my lab over the course of the last year, couple of years, whatever. Because he's a big proponent of carbon dating not being accurate.
Yeah.
Because every time you carbon date something, it's not like it's a few years off. It's like millions of years off. It can be crazy. So his whole point was not saying that it's just a bunch of bunk, but saying you can't hang your hat on it. Right?
Yeah.
And when you put it the way you did about age being built into it, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And then there's so much more to that. But as far as it all coexisting, I think it goes like this. It's the lens that we look at it through. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If you're using science to look at Christianity, to disprove it, debunk it, crush it, you'll find a way that makes sense. You'll find some holes or find something that makes sense. But then we have Christians who look through the eyes of religion to debunk science. Now we know that.
Yeah.
If you look at our history.
That is true.
Back in the day, they called anything with scientific demonic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, dude, God created it all, including science. And we have a lot of Christian scientists out there.
Yeah.
So don't look at it through a particular lens. Just take it for what it is. It's part of creation.
Science is just a tool.
It's a tool.
Well,
And when you say that to a scientist, it is part of creation. Created by the creator.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes. I just don't see the big thing in there unless we just want it to be a thing.
Albert Einstein, the hero of all things physics, Albert Einstein said that if you look at the universe, there's evidence of an intelligent design.
Yep.
That there has to be a God based on the layout design of the universe. Yeah.
Couldn't have been an accident.
Yeah.
Interesting facts about Albert Einstein, by the way. Can I throw that out there?
Yeah, go ahead.
That'd be fun. He didn't know how to tie his shoes. Did you know that?
No, know that.
Couldn't figure it out.
Wow.
Look at his hair.
Well, yeah, he didn't know what a comb was.
He slept in like 30-minute spurts. Very rarely did he sleep a whole night.
Hey,
genius. This guy.
Me and Albert.
He said his mind never shut off. And the other thing was, even though he came up with the theory of relativity. Yeah. 2 + 2 boggled his mind.
He struggled with trying to find a whole number between 1 and 0.
Simpler things just stumped him because he was so brilliant.
Yeah.
So intelligent. It was like his intelligence was way above simplicity.
Yeah.
Even this guy said.
I've told you his front door. Yeah, did I?
Oh, where's that?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, without getting all into the weeds I had a physics professor in college, and he was in his 80s at this time. But he was when he got out as a grad student, he worked at Princeton as a grad student in the 50s, and that's where Albert Einstein was in the 50s. He was working out of Princeton. Anyway, he had, so my professor got to talk to him, and he said that when he first met him, like really met him off, off campus. He invited everybody over for like a Sunday afternoon, barbecue or whatever in his house, and so it was one of those houses where in the neighborhood, it was all like colonial style houses.
Yeah.
And you had trees lining like the middle of the street, like a divided street, and all the houses were colonial style. So they're all white and they had black shutters, and so he said, yeah, he said, I'm probably 24 years old this time, he said, I'm just like right out of college. I'm a grad student, and so anyway, he was honored to actually be there. Anyway, he gets there, he pulls into his house, and like I said, all these houses, these beautiful colonial white houses, black shutters, everything, black front doors, except for Albert's. And he said it was candy apple red, and it had to be different. It's just odd. Yeah, it's just odd. So anyway, day goes on, and at the toward the end of the evening, he's leaving, and one of the things that Albert does is he always walked his guests back to the front door, and saw them out. It's kind of a courteous kind of thing to do. And so my professor said he was leaving, and he walked him up, and he said, well, because they were colleagues, he said, for me, he said, my professor was saying this. He said, for me, we weren't colleagues. This guy's on such a whole other level from me, and all. He said, this is my hero. The reason I got into physics was because of this guy. So anyway, he walks him to the door. He opens the door, and he goes, and that's when he reminded him. He saw the candy apple red door, and he says, if you don't mind me asking, said, why is your door red? And he said, Albert said, well, because every one of these houses all look the same. I got tired of pulling into the wrong house.
And you saw me with it lame.
He was like dead serious. And my professor looked at me. He said, you got to understand. He said, this is my hero. This is my hero, who I consider the smartest man that has ever existed, couldn't find his way home. He said he crushed me, and so he said, yeah, his door was painted candy apple red because he couldn't find his way home.
Well, the next time my wife gets on to me for getting lost, I'm going to say, hey, I'm right here with Einstein.
I'm in good company right there.
Right with you.
All right. It's,
your turn.
My turn. Here we go. I'm ready, baby. Let's see. I'm going to take that one. All right. Easy one. What's your favorite color? Sure, plaid. All right.
Yeah, that's what deep.
Okay. What is the best way to witness to people? And by witness, I mean to tell people about Jesus. So what is the best way to tell people about Jesus? Okay.
That's a good one.
The talk is cheap. Okay. So the best way you can tell people about Jesus is about the way you live. I read a quote from a guy this past week, actually, and I think it plays right into this. And he was right. The book I was reading, he posed this question. He said, if someone could not hear you speak, they could only see your actions, what would they say about you?
Wow.
That was like, what would they say? That's a good one.
Depends on the day of the week.
Yeah.
Sometimes for me, unfortunately, for a lot.
It depends on if he's riding the car with me.
Interstate. We're on 85 at rush hour.
So yeah. Well, the best way to witness to people, look, talk is cheap. And there's a story, and this goes into it. But this is a guy's his wife was churchgoer, like twice on Sunday and Wednesday nights, and had been after him constantly to go to church with her, And so finally to shut her up, he's like, okay, fine.
Shut her up.
I'll go to the hat club. I'll go. And so, they go to church. And so he's right in the middle of service. The preacher's preaching, and he forgot to silence his phone. So his cell phone goes off. And he's fine. He's, quick as he can, he's trying to get to his phone. It's in his pocket. He's trying to get his phone to silence it, Of course, everybody's looking around, And so finally he gets it, silences it. And so it was after church, after service, and there were several members of the church, coming up, dude, you don't know how to silence your phone, and
Good Christian people.
yeah,
Good Christian people. We're glad you're here.
If you can't work a phone, you shouldn't bring it into church, And even the preacher was standing, at the back door, shaking everybody's hands when they go out, and he shook the guy's hand. He goes, "Really? Right in the middle of my sermon?" It's like just so real. The following Friday or weekend, he goes back to his bar, or neighborhood bar, and so he had ordered a beer, and bartender handed him a bottle of beer, and he missed it. He got it and it kind of slipped out of his hand, and it fell on the bar, and then rolled off and fell. And it got the lady who was sitting next to him. It got onto her, it got all over him, shattered on the floor. And said he looked over at the lady, and he's apologizing to her. Her boyfriend, husband, whoever on the other side of her, she says, "Hey, it's all right. Things happen." And he's like, "Yeah, it's fine. It's fine." He's like, he's waiting on that guy to like punch him or something because he spilled beer all over his lady. But, he's like, "Everything's good." And he said, "Man," and he told the bartender, he said, "Get him another one. It's on me. I'll pay for it." It's like, no, it's no, I'll pay for it. Things happen, mistakes happen. And so the waitress came up, or the cocktail waitress come up, and she got the mop, and there's another one to come up with a ring. So let me, I made a mess. Let me clean it up. She said, no, don't worry about it. Things happen. It's okay. We got it. We got you. And then she swept it up, and they mopped it up and everything, and so when all said and done, he every week, he never missed a week after that of going to the bar, and he never ever went back to his wife's church. And that will preach. So there you go. So the best way to witness people, there you go.
St. Francis said it best. It's my favorite quote.
Yeah.
By him.
Yeah.
Preach the gospel always without ceasing, and when absolutely necessary, use your words.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Man, if the church could learn to love like the world.
Yeah.
And
that is very deep. That's good.
It's backward though. Yeah. And it's wrong. And it's like, but it's right.
Yeah.
It seems like we attack the church sometimes. We don't.
Right. Yeah.
We're just pointing out, let's be better.
It's sort of the thing. It's sort of the thing of, we're siblings. We can talk to each other.
Yeah.
We can say things, but don't anybody else say anything.
Exactly.
Or
good. Because we love the church. We want to build the church up.
Yeah.
You're the church. Right. We're the church. We want to build it up. And man, if a bar's going to roll out the red carpet, because that's a deep story. That was great. If they're going to roll out the red carpet to their patrons, how much more should the church?
Wow. Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a true story or not.
Yeah.
But we see it all the time.
Yeah.
We see it happen every day. We just do. So,
another one, just really quickly, is a friend of mine's brother is a painter, and got hired to paint the inside. They were remodeling a church, this particular church, and he's I'll be done in a week. So he started on Monday, and Well, Wednesday night was deacons meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he's painting of the room next to where they're having the deacons meeting that night. And so he's hearing the whole thing going on. And so he did go to church. He doesn't go to church at all. But anyway, my friend, little brother, but anyway, my friend was asking, trying to get him to start going to church.
Yeah.
And he said, I love you, but no. And when they asked him why, he said, let me tell you something. He said, I have been in about every bar in 3 counties for 30 years. And he said, I'm talking biker bars, roughneck bars. He said, I have never, ever been in any of those bars he said, even bars that broke out into a fight, I have never heard such anger and such vitriol come out of somebody's mouth like I did those deacons.
Yeah.
Like, dang.
We got to do better, man.
We got to do better.
We got to do better. Because this stuff is not far-fetched or made up.
Nope.
But hey, I think we did good on quick hits.
Yeah.
We knocked it out. Pun intended.
Somebody only did 2.
Huh?
Somebody only did 2.
What do you mean? I got one more?
Yeah, I started.
Hey, crap, you got me.
1, 2,
All right,
1,
like
2.
this.
Don't cuss.
No cussing. Look,
Christian cussing.
did that on purpose.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. What is this one?
Ooh, what a way to end the show.
Oh,
Could Jesus have sinned? Did he have the ability to sin?
wow. Whoever wrote that one, that's good. That's good. That's good.
A resident theologian, Clinton here, I'm going to need your help. Could Jesus have sinned? Did he have the ability to sin? Well, I know that Scripture teaches us. Actually, we're doing the Apostles' Creed right now in church. We're going through that. One of the things we just talked about was the part when it says, we believe that he descended into hell, right?
Yeah.
And third day he rose again. There's a lot more to it, but at the base, there was a big debate then. Was Jesus really a man and God at the same time, or was he just faking it? You ever heard that?
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the big early church things, and to this day, I think some people even believe that. Well, he didn't really feel pain. He wasn't really hungry. He just faked it all.
Yeah.
And some were saying, no, he was just a guy, not God. That's what they came up with that the Greek word that means, it's theanthropos, it means God man.
Yeah.
Like he's 100% God and 100% man. I heard an old pastor say at one time, he was so much God, he couldn't believe he was a man. So much man, he couldn't believe he was God. Like he was the perfect, blend, I guess you would say. So we know from Scripture that he was tempted, right? The Bible tells us he was in every way. He was tempted in every way. And here's my thing. It's not a temptation if it's not something that you have the ability to give into.
That's right.
I have never been tempted by something that I don't want.
You can't tempt me for the beets.
Beets. I love beets.
You can't tempt me.
Pickle beets.
I don't care.
I don't want them.
I can be starving. Brussels sprouts. You can't tempt me with Brussels sprouts. I don't want them.
I don't want them.
Yeah.
But we can only be tempted by something we really want. And so I believe that it is evident in Scripture that Jesus could have sinned.
Yeah.
He could have given in. He could have called for angels to take him off the cross. He could have done all kinds of things. He could have turned the stone into bread.
If he didn't have you just, I'm sorry,
Oh, go ahead. We're talking.
you just hit what I was about to say. You talking about he turned stone. So if he could not have the ability to sin, then when he was hungry, now remember he what was it, 40 days?
40 days, yeah.
And after that, that's when Satan came to him. Yeah. And, he says, oh, if you were God, prove it, turn those stones into bread. If he was not tempted, if he didn't have the ability to sin, Satan wouldn't have said that.
And if he was faking it, he wasn't really hungry, there would have been no temptation.
Satan wouldn't have said it either.
So and the thing is, for him to be the fancy word that we use sometimes, we break it down to propitiation, the substitution. He took our place. That's all that means. He is the one who was able to do what we couldn't do, and that's keep every letter of the law and not sin. But it does not mean he didn't have the ability to, because he was a man. And it does not mean that he, that he couldn't have. I mean, yeah, I totally believe that he could have, and that's what makes him the perfect Lamb of God, because he could have done it. He was definitely tempted. He had the ability to sin. He was just like you and I. He could have done all of that, and he chose not to. And that's what made him the perfect sacrifice and substitution for us. Because if he couldn't have, then what's the point? It was all fake anyway. Right?
Yeah. What was that word again?
Propitiation?
Propitiation. I had to write that one down. No,
Say it.
propitiation.
You did it.
Yeah,
No,
that's not the word I have a problem with. It's what is it?
Erica got you on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't remember.
D is
Depravity.
depravity. I can never say depravity.
You're doing it now.
Yeah. But, that's because I'm thinking about it. But it goes back and, I was going to say, what you just said kind of tied back to, what we're talking about. But,
And here's the thing, that may upset some people. Jesus could not have sinned. Well, he didn't. That doesn't mean he could not have.
Yeah.
Those are different.
Yeah.
And yeah,
that's what I was getting at with, they say, from the question I got, why does God allow evil? He does that. But, we have that freedom of choice, because otherwise it's not love. You can't honor somebody or obey somebody if it's compulsory.
Oh yeah.
And so it kind of goes into that same thing there. So if Jesus could not have sinned, then what would been, then how he didn't have, then he wouldn't have the right. See, that's the thing. He had to go through everything, tempted in every way. He had to go through everything that we go through. And then to not sin, to overcome that, gives him the right, and I shouldn't use air quotes, gives him the right to then pardon us. That's right. And because I did it, that gives me the right now, because
The authority.
the authority. I'm the only one who qualifies for heaven. So since I'm the only one that qualifies for heaven, I can allow these others to come into heaven because I'm qualified for it. So
that word you use, overcome, I was thinking that right when you said it, because it's like, how can you overcome something unless it's an obstacle?
Exactly.
Unless it's a challenge, unless it's something real in front of you, there's nothing to overcome.
Right.
He overcame
Yes.
death, hell, sin, the grave, all of that stuff.
Yes.
And man. So he totally had the ability, I believe. He totally could have, and he chose not to. And I'll just put a button on that one, because man, that's one that'll preach right there. And now we're getting excited at the end. Look at it.
Yeah.
Because in the Garden of Eden, that is the greatest to me. The Garden of Gethsemane, the night he was arrested, that is the greatest picture of his humanity. Now he had the cross.
Yeah.
But on that night, dude, he's like, man, my buddies, my homies, will you just stay awake?
Yeah.
I don't want to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
We see him being lonely. We see him depressed. We see him brokenhearted.
Mm-hmm.
And we see, I don't want to use the word fear of the cross, but just what he was about to face.
He knew physical. Yes.
Yeah. The physical was separation from God, the mental, the anguish, the torture. And what did he say? Fisher will.
Yeah.
Let this cup pass, but nevertheless, not my will, yours be done. We see a man saying, don't let me go through this.
I got in trouble one time.
But a man who was totally obedient.
Yeah. I'm sorry to step all over you.
No, man, we own this one.
I got in trouble one time.
You always get in trouble.
Yeah, I do. But at this time, I got in trouble. I was preaching, and I said that Jesus did not want to go to the cross. And, it's like, and then afterward, I got these, anyway,
I noticed you got,
yeah. Was telling me that, no. Jesus went to the cross. He
really uniting about it. It was happening.
yeah. I was like, I think the picture that is painted in the Garden of Gethsemane. He was sweating drops of blood, which it cannot happen unless you're under immense stress.
Yeah.
You have to be under so much stress for that to happen. And he tried 3 times. If you remember, like we were there. No, but if you remember reading this, he was trying to. He said, Is there another way? Is there another way? And 3 times, like he didn't take the first, he didn't take the first no. And then, okay, whatever. Here we go. Arrest me, all this. No, he was like, again. So if you've ever pleaded with God and didn't like the answer and kept pleading, Jesus has got you, because he was there too, and finally after the 3rd time. Now, so the thing is that Jesus didn't want to go to the cross. The only thing was, talking about choices, there was no other choice, because allowing us to go to hell wasn't a choice. He wasn't going to that wasn't going to happen.
So, or the choice would have been disobedience to the Father.
Yeah.
In either way he went, it would have been sinful. You know what I mean? It was just,
Yeah.
you had a choice.
Just to paint, to me, Mom, I'm with you in the garden, but for me, it's that pleading, because the reason why is because Scripture tells us that Jesus is the author and finisher of our faith. Now, we always kind of focus on the finisher. He did the deed. But the first part, the author, it was his idea. He came up with the idea. So, when the Godhead, when the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, before the foundation of the world, were talking about, about humanity and, this, falling creation. How do we save this fallen creation? Jesus is the one he's the author of our faith.
Yeah.
It was his idea. He came up with it. So he came up with it. It was his. Anyway, sir. All right. Satan was heaven's music director.
Choir, yeah.
All right. Choir directors. He music director. Developed Southern God.
Playing, kidding, playing.
Don't get me. Don't get me.
Don't get him going.
Too late. I get laughing. I'll start coughing. Oh, jeez. Okay. So we're gonna end this now. We're way over.
Yeah, we are.
So
that out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a good one. We're not too much over. I think we're coming up on an hour, so that's pretty good. Yeah. All right. So anyway, anything else you want to say?
Well, I am good.
All right. So you've been watching and listening and hopefully learning from After Dark with Jamie and Clint. I'm Clint. He's Jamie.
Still Jamie.
And we'll see you next time for another conversation. And until then, tell your mama I said hey.
The proceeding has been a production of Clammy Productions. All rights reserved.